Hello all, and welcome to episode 5 of Flashback Royal Rumble. Here I'll be going over the 1992 Royal Rumble event. Now, not only was this, as many would say, as the greatest Royal Rumble in WWE history, but this was actually the very first wrestling show I had ever watched in my life. Yep, my journey as a wrestling fan all started with the 1992 Royal Rumble event. This was the show that I watched that I immediately got hooked into becoming a fan, and once that happened, I did not look back, nor did I want to. Anyway, let's get to it. Overall, the 1992 Royal Rumble event was definitely a great event. It's definitely a recommended show for anyone that wants to see really great wrestling shows. One of my favorite moments was the crowning of a new Intercontinental Champion, as Roddy Piper defeated the Mountie to win his first and only singles gold in WWE history. See, it was originally scheduled to be Bret Hart defending the Intercontinental title against the Mountie, but it was said that Bret Hart had some kind of high temperature, like 104-degree temperature or something like that, and thus causing Bret Hart to drop the title to the Mountie 3 days before at a house show. And then they decided to make Piper the Intercontinental Champion at the Royal Rumble event, and I think because of that, he was the only WWF guy there that had two matches in one night: the Intercontinental title match and the Royal Rumble match itself. But anyway, the match itself was okay. It was pretty good. It was mostly more remembered by Roddy Piper being the Intercontinental Champion, and thus going on to face Bret Hart at WrestleMania 8. And of course, we got to mention the 1992 Royal Rumble match. This match was so significant for a few reasons. One, there was finally something at stake. Here it was the WWF Championship. A month prior, at a show called This Tuesday in Texas, The Undertaker, who had beaten Hulk Hogan the month before that at the Survivor Series in 1991, lost the title to Hogan when Hogan threw ashes at The Undertaker's face and rolled him up for the win. Claiming it as controversial, Jack Tunney, who was the president of WWF at the time, decided to declare the title match a no contest, and declaring the WWF title vacant. And the winner and the new champion would be crowned in the WWF Royal Rumble match in the next year of 1992. And so the set was staged, and boom, we were off and running. The first two kicking us off was Ted DiBiase and the British Bulldog. The number 3 entrant would be the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who had debuted in the summer of 1991, a few months before. Now, a lot of people would see Flair as the fan favorite, but I'm pretty sure they didn't expect Flair to win the whole thing, since he got in at an early entrant. They probably thought it was going to be probably Hogan, or maybe somebody else with a later number. But Flair proved everybody wrong. Lasted almost an hour, I'd say maybe 56 and a half minutes, to become the new WWF champion. Now, this match was great to watch. If I said it once, I'll say it again. This match was great to watch. There was intrigue, there was suspense, there was comedy, there was a bunch of those styles all mixed into one, and a lot of that goes to the commentary team of Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Now, I have said before that I'm a Gorilla Ventura guy, but Gorilla and the Brain, definitely one of the greatest commentary teams in wrestling of all time. Especially Bobby Heenan's complete biased announcing towards Ric Flair, since him and Ric Flair are good friends. And what I loved about it was Bobby Heenan's pleas to keep Flair in the match. That was so funny to me. I really enjoyed it, especially the part where Ric Flair, it was Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, and Jake the Snake Roberts. Roberts was putting it to Ric Flair until Roddy Piper made the save, and then Bobby Heenan started praising Piper, calling it a kilt and not a skirt. But then when Piper turned on Flair, he called him a no-good skirt-wearing punk, whatever. Man, Bobby Heenan was just so good to watch at that time. And anyway, of course, it ended up being Ric Flair walking out the winner when he eliminated Sid Vicious, thanks to Hulk Hogan, who was holding Sid's arm. And everybody, including Bobby the Brain Heenan, of course, just went completely nuts, because they never thought Flair would last that long. And right afterwards, there was an interview segment between Ric Flair along with Mr. Perfect and Bobby the Brain Heenan, in which, well, I call it the tear in my eye promo. I don't know what you would call it, but he would give a promo saying, I finally made it, I'm the WWE champion, and so on and so forth. Overall, this was a great show. I definitely recommend seeing. I'll definitely put a link to the 1992 Royal Rumble match, because for those of you, if you haven't seen it, you really need to see it. This was definitely one of the greatest matches, not only in the Royal Rumble history, but in the history of WWE. This is definitely a great example of what a great match should be, because it had everything on it, and I truly loved it. And again, if you haven't seen it, then you don't know what you're missing, and you definitely need to see this match. Next time, I'll be reviewing the 1993 Royal Rumble event, and don't forget to leave a comment to this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter at JJMWWE89. And until we meet again, take care, y'all.